and welcome to another lesson by me, Bree, your qualified music teacher at Bree Music Tutorials. I'm really excited to be giving you this lesson today, and I hope it gives you the confidence you need to help you on your ukulele way. I'd like to start with a poll so you can tell me where your confidence levels are at the moment with strumming. Hopefully with each lesson you're getting a little more confident. If you're not confident yet, please go back to the start of this playlist and see my lesson 1, 2 and 3. I'll be putting a description in the link below, so just click that little arrow under this video so that you can go back and complete the whole series with me. In the previous lesson, we learnt about the difference between eighth notes and quarter notes and how to read them. Today we'll be combining these with eighth note rests and quarter note rests to play different rhythm variations to help you be able to play, hear, feel, and identify different rhythm patterns. There'll be a printable sheet available on my Patreon page, patreon.com/youandbree. By joining me on Patreon, you'll help me to continue to bring these lessons to you and make resources to help you on your ukulele way. We're going to start with a quick warm-up where I play, then you play some of the patterns that we learnt in the previous lesson. Don't forget that you can slow this down by selecting a different playback speed on YouTube. Doesn't matter if you can't play it up to speed, but if these rhythms are completely confusing, even slowed down, please do go back and visit my previous lessons, as I don't want you to feel left behind. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. Now we're going to jump straight into combining quarter notes, eighth notes and rests. We're going to look at the island strum, which uses a combination of all of these. If you've never heard of the island strum, don't worry, it's sure to come up often in your ukulele journey. It's a really common strumming pattern that can be used for many songs, and I've actually created a video just on the island strum, which I'll put a link to in the description below and the card above. Let's start by clapping this rhythm. So we have 1, 2 and 4 and. 1, 2 and 4 and. Now moving that to a strum, remembering that we strum down from our nose to our toes on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and up from our toes to our nose on all the ands. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4 and down, down, up, down, up. Ta, ti, 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 ti. 1, 2 and 4 and. Now I'm going to display a rhythm on the screen and I want you to see if you can work it out for yourself. So notice that you have 2 eighth notes, a rest followed by another eighth note, another 2 eighth notes, and then a quarter note. Let's check it together in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3 and 4. 1 and 3 and 4. Or ti 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 ta. So now you know about eighth note rests and eighth notes and quarter notes. We're going to look at quarter note rests. Now I believe these are actually easier than eighth note rests because you're simply pausing or resting for a whole beat, the equivalent of 2 eighth notes or a down up. I've left these for last because you don't hear them as often in strumming patterns as what you do eighth notes. So in this example, you'll see we have 1, rest, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and. So you can hear there's that big gap in the rest. Let's have a look at another example. See if you can work this one out for yourself. I'll count to 4 and we'll check it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 and 4 and again. 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and. So now you've been able to read rhythms, play rhythms, and identify some rhythms. Now we're going to see if you can write rhythms. This is really helpful for working out rhythm patterns, developing your ear, and just knowing how to write rhythms. This is just one way to do it, and the fancy lingo for it is rhythm dictation. You don't need to know that, but it's nice to know. Start by drawing 4 circles that are big enough to draw notes in. Each circle is symbolizing a beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Each beat is going to have a combination of either 1 quarter note, 2 eighth notes, a quarter note rest, or an eighth note rest followed by an eighth note. So you're going to listen to what I play, and for every note, you're going to try to fill out these circles. Let me give you an example. If I played 1, 2, and 3, 4, and, I would put a quarter note, 2 eighth notes in the next circle, quarter note, 2 eighth notes. Just see how you go. Don't forget you can slow this video right down. Post any questions in the comments below and I'm happy to answer. I can be a little tricky teaching one way, so your questions do help. So I'll start with just eighth and quarter notes without any rests to help warm up. A big tip is every time I count the numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4, that's the start of a new circle. Rhythm 1. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Write it down. I'll play that one again. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Rhythm 2. Write another 4 circles. Pause if you need. And here we go. 1, 2 and 3, 4. Rhythm 3. 1, shh, 3 and 4 and 1, shh, 3 and 4 and. Now we're going to add some eighth note rests. Remembering that an eighth note rest looks like a little 7, followed by a little 8th note with a tail at the end. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. This one may be a little harder. See how you go. 1 and 3 and 4. 1 and 3 and 4. 1 and 3 and 4. See if you can count up your score and let me know in the comments below what your final score was, what helped you succeed and what maybe held you back. So now that you can read, hear, feel, play and even write rhythms, see if you can get creative and make your own. To do this, all you need to do is draw those 4 circles like you did before, but rather than drawing in what you hear, you draw in whatever you feel. You can put any combination of the notes that we've learned so far and come up with your own strumming patterns. Now, the reason a lot of YouTubers and online content creators use D's and U's for our strumming patterns is because it's easy to type. It's not easy to put downs and ups and necessarily counting patterns. Not everyone understands that. The D's and U's are fairly universal in understanding strumming patterns. My problem with them is that many people don't write them correctly. It makes it confusing for everybody. Now, don't go dissing on people who aren't doing it right. Perhaps they just haven't learned, and that's okay. We respect that too. But I'm going to encourage you to space them correctly. So let me give you an example, the island strum. I have seen the island strum written out so many ways, where people maybe group the D's together and the U's together because they think that's what makes sense in their mind, which is fine. But for other people to understand it, the spaces belong where the rests are. So if we play the island strum, down, down, up, down, up, we would have D space, D, U, space, U, D, U. You can see where you press space bar in those little gaps, where our hand is continuing to move, but we don't actually play. See if you can come up with your own strumming pattern and write it down in the comments below. Don't be afraid of mistakes. It's all good, you're still learning, I'm here to help. If the strumming pattern doesn't make sense, perhaps I can give you some feedback. If you want to get extra creative and even write your own song, I want you to use your strumming pattern and choose any 4 of the following 6 chords: C, G, F, A minor, E minor, D minor. You could even repeat more than one chord for your 4, so you could have C, G, A minor, C. It's up to you. And for each time that you play a strumming pattern, you change chords. So say my strumming pattern was down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. I would play down, up, down, down, up, down, up, change. Change back. Change again. Now you would have heard I only used 2 chords then. That's fine too. Or you could play a strumming pattern twice in a row for each chord. Down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, just before we finish this lesson, I want to let you know of a few ways that you can help me for free. You can click subscribe, which helps this channel grow and will help me unlock new features so I can help you. You can click like, which will help other people discover this video. You can ring the bell to be updated of new content, and the more videos you watch, the more my channel grows. And one way you can help me for just a couple of dollars a month is you can join me on patreon.com/youandbree, and in exchange you'll get access to a whole range of exclusive benefits. Please do give me any feedback below. I love hearing your comments and I'm happy to answer your questions. Teaching is my passion, as is music. Once my next lesson is released, it will be featured here in the end screens. I'll also place a link to my whole series on strumming patterns. You'll see various links which may be helpful in the description below. Much love and thanks.